Hello, friends, and welcome to today's live love up conversation. It is wonderful to be back here with you, and happy Wednesday. Let's dive right in.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun. Award-winning financial pro. Get ready. Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the show. I'm Winnie, your host, an award-winning financial pro, a Forbes contributor, and a CNBC Council member and contributor. And it's wonderful to be joining you here live on many different social media platforms. So jump in, say hello, introduce yourself. It's great to be here with you. And let's kick it off and talk about where the market is currently. Unfortunately, we're seeing red across the board. Currently, the Dow is down 153 points. NASDAQ is down 154 points, and the S&P 500 is currently down 36 points as well. We still have, a little bit more than 45 minutes left before the market will close here. So hopefully things get a little bit better, but it looks like we might be ending in an all red day today, unfortunately. So let's talk about some big headline news. I'm sure many of you have been paying attention to concerns about inflation and how things have been costing a lot more than they have for some time. Well, there's an article that came out not only on the New York Times, the CNBC is also covering this topic, talking about what the Fed is going to be doing with interest rates and how that's going to affect all of us here. So currently the Fed has paused rate cuts, as you know, having already reduced about 1% last year. The Federal Reserve is currently holding steady to assess the current U.S. economy's stability. They're noting, of course, some caution. They say the strong economy does allow for us to be cautious. A very strong jump market does give the Fed flexibility to delay further rate cuts while also ensuring that inflation that you are experiencing still stays under control. In fact, we're going to talk a little bit about that because it's not just what the Fed is doing, but some other things are impacting some of the things that you and I buy on a day in and day out basis as well. Now, inflation has dropped nicely from a 9% peak to around 3%. But nonetheless, U.S. policymakers still are very much concerned about potential price surges on the things that we buy that we normally need, for our budget. Now, we do know with the new administration, this does add a lot of uncertainty. We've heard a lot of talk about tariffs, deregulation, and of course, the stark immigration policies and how that's going to actually impact inflation, the cost of goods, the cost of groceries, the cost of produce, and all that. And of course, there's economic growth considerations too. These are all complicating the Fed's decisions. So we're going to pay really close attention. I'll continue to keep you updated, but this is what we know so far, that interest rate and where that's going to be, it's kind of unclear. The Fed predicts, of course, a 0.5% rate cut in this year in 2025. Now that was down from earlier expectations of a full 1% reduction. But of course, a lot has changed in the last few weeks. I think we can all agree, right? So with Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's speech coming, this is going to be really important. The Fed Chairman's comments, of course, on inflation, financial conditions, and of course, government policies. This is all going to impact interest rates and what the Fed does into the future. Now, of course, there's going to be new voting members who are going to be favoring caution. In fact, 4 regional Fed officials who are now part of the policy committee are supporting sort of a patient approach. And I think patient is sort of the key word. I think we also have to be patient to see where the Fed's going to lead us and how that's going to impact interest rates. But I do know, because we've been working, my team and I have been working with so many clients that have been affected by things such as the wildfires here in Southern California, that of course they're hoping that temporarily interest rates stay high, so the monies that they have look ready and holding on to for the ability to rebuild can earn a little bit more interest rate. But then they're also hoping that the rate eventually comes down so that when they have to set up a new mortgage for their property or borrowing rates, that those interest rates will come down. So we'll see. So we know that the Fed is very much busy with balancing inflation concerns, economic resilience here in the United States, and of course, ongoing political uncertainty as well, and how that's going to impact future rate cuts. So, if you have any questions, or if you have comments, or projections of how that's going to wind itself, feel free to jump in comments and let us know, and we'll see what you have to say about the topic. But I want to say a big welcome, of course. I see Modern Mom. Thanks so much for joining us on YouTube Live. CrossX Fighter, it's Joshua. Thank you so much for joining us and being back on YouTube Live as well. In fact, a big let's just say big thing that's happening today. If you didn't know already, today is the brand new Lunar New Year has officially kicked in today. We are officially in the year of the snake. Okay, it kicks off today, January 29th, making really, it's kind of a fun way to talk about it. I know here in the United States, we celebrate New Year on January 1st, but also Lunar New Year is another way to celebrate once again the New Year. This is, of course, talking about what's projected for now the Lunar New Year. They're saying this is going to be a time of personal growth, of renewal, and transformation. And this is very popular in the Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese traditions, as well as many other nationalities. But let's talk a little bit about the symbolism of the snake. I want to share with you. It's kind of fun, right? So often they say that the snake might be a misunderstood creature, if you will, because they say in Western cultures, the snake is seen as maybe not the best, but they're saying actually the snake is actually a very popular sign in Eastern traditions because it represents smart, intelligent, resilient, and perseverance. In fact, the snakes association, the fact that you know how snakes they'll shed their old skin, that this shedding of old skin actually aligns with letting go of negativity, of bad habits, and even outdated mindsets, which makes this year ideal for self-improvement. In fact, this isn't just the year of the snake. It's actually, they say it's the year of the wood snake. And they say what this means is in 2025, specifically a wood snake year, they said this is going to emphasize the returning to one's true nature, personal refinement, and spiritual growth. So legends portray the snake as a figure of determination and love, including its sixth place finish in the zodiac race and its role in the legend of the white snake, which is a Chinese tale of eternal love and sacrifice. For me, it's actually very special. And I'll tell you why. Because my dad was the year of the snake. And I remember even as a kid that my mom would say, like, well, that's why dad's so smart and this and that. But so it kind of has that sort of nostalgic feeling. So yeah, year of the snake. If you didn't know, that's what it is. It definitely helps all of us encourage embracing change, self-reflection, perseverance, and just being patient and offering sort of a fun opportunity for personal and spiritual growth. So let me know what you think about that. Put it in comments, if you will. But if you didn't know, today's a great day to celebrate. And one fun thing that's done is that oftentimes those who are married will give a red envelope to those who aren't. And oftentimes that's children, right? And the red envelopes, you've probably seen them on social media. If you haven't, you can Google like Lunar New Year red envelopes. But usually there'll be like some cash in there. And so kids really look forward to the holiday. So it's a big holiday in many parts of the world. Here, of course, we're still working. But nonetheless, Lunar Year, hope you enjoy. All right, let's continue on because I want to talk about another big thing that's happening this month that I know a lot of you are looking forward to, and that is the one and only Super Bowl. Now, this is being shared by ESPN. I want to talk about Super Bowl. I know many of you love watching football and love watching the Super Bowl, but one thing that I love watching too is the Super Bowl ads. And let me know in comments how you feel about the ads, but I really enjoyed it. I think they're so much fun. But here's the thing, Super Bowl ad prices are reaching a whopping $8 million. So at least 10 commercials airing during Super Bowl on Fox have sold now for a record $8 million per 30-second spot. Yikes. Hopefully it comes back to be, a good decision on their part. But they are saying there's such a strong demand for Super Bowl ads this year. And I'm guessing it's not just because people love football. But let's be honest, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs are coming, and we can't discount the fact that we know with that comes Travis Kelsey and is very popular, very famous, very loved girlfriend or significant other. If you don't know, put it in comments. So someone, oh, if you do know why, put it in comments for those who don't know why I think this year, why the prices have gone up so much. Now, despite high prices, many brands rush to secure these ad slots, including Anheuser-Busch, of course, Meta as well, Pepsi Cola, Frito-Lay, Taco Bell, Uber Eats as well. So let's see. I mean, hopefully you get a chance to watch the commercials and let me know which ones you like, you don't like. But they're saying that with AI and everything else that these ads this year, they say, are going to focus on artificial intelligence and even pharmaceuticals, and there'll probably be less movie and auto commercials. Just due to industry challenges and whatnot. But brands are already starting releasing some of their teasers to their ad. Now, this includes, of course, Budweiser's doing that already, and some of the other companies as well, as bringing on some really nostalgic celebrities. We hear that Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal from When Harry Met Sally are going to be making an appearance as well. So should be a lot of fun. Let me know your thoughts on this, right? It's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me know if there's a team that you're particularly excited about being there and who you're hoping wins the Super Bowl. I'll tell you, I'm completely neutral because I don't really watch football that much, but I will say that my dad loved football and loved Super Bowl Sunday. So well, I'm still curious. I'm really curious to see how that's going to turn out to be. So, despite economic shifts, Super Bowl ads definitely still a premium, and they're expecting about 120 plus million viewers this year. So, it's going to be a very popular event for sure. In fact, I remember as a kid that my mom would say, like, this is a perfect day to go to like Disneyland or the supermarket because it's going to be so much less crowded because everybody's going to be home watching a Super Bowl. So that was sort of like her theory. But of course, my dad, Super Bowl at home. That was his thing. All right, cool. Well, let's continue on. I want to talk to you about another change. I see Sadiq. Sadiq, it's wonderful to see you. Thanks so much for being here. I want to talk to you about another development and get your take on this. And I'm Sadiq. I'm really glad you're joining us live because I know this is something that I would love to hear your thoughts in. And this is about Apple. Apple is partnering up with SpaceX. They're going to be bringing Starlink satellite connectivity to iPhones. This is being shared on CNET by Samantha Kelly, talking about how they have, Apple has now reportedly integrated SpaceX's Starlink satellite service to iOS 18.3, which is now going to provide an alternative to Globalstar's emergency SOS feature, which I will say, I remember when they were talking about the SOS feature, and I thought that was the coolest thing because when you didn't have signal, if you were in some remote place, like you would be able to get emergency services. Well, now this is sort of taking it to that next level. They're also talking about how T-Mobile's partnership now is also expanding coverage. This update enables T-Mobile customers to use Starlink for off-grid texting and emergency communication in those dead zones that we were just talking about. And they're also saying this is going to be providing stronger satellite connectivity because unlike previous satellite services, Starlink will allow for continuous connection without pointing the phone at the sky. Even if it's in your pocket, it'll still work. And of course, they're saying that the current Starlink constellation supports images, music, podcasts, and they're saying future versions will also enable video streaming. So those of you who have iPhones, even more to look forward to. Now, while Globalstar operates internationally, Starlink's iPhone connectivity is going to be currently only available here in the United States, but they're going to be competing with Amazon's Project Kuiper, which is really positions Apple, SpaceX, and T-Mobile against other satellite providers, sort of in the race for satellite-based mobile internet. That's like a big thing. So let me know how you feel about that. I'm curious to see like when you're actually gonna see this change, I would guess when you're in that dead zone and you're trying to have service, and at that point, maybe it'll pop up, but it's coming. If not, unless it's already here, I don't know. I don't have that information yet, but looks like that partnership was signed and something to look forward to for those iPhone users, I guess. Now, speaking of changes, there's another one that's been trying to change for quite a bit of time. And this is being shared on CNBC by Leslie Josephs, talking about, how, like, especially right now, like, there's, like, I know a lot of schools are doing these winter formals and kids are asking each other to date. Well, this feels like in that realm. Well, Frontier Airlines has once again proposed merging with bankrupt Spirit once again. Frontier Airlines has now made a new debt and merger discussions with struggling Spirit Airlines, but Spirit once again rejected it, said no thanks. Spirit calls the offer inadequate, and their executives say that the proposal was just not enough and too risky, and they didn't want it, and they could be open to a revised deal, but so far, no deal. So the proposal included a $400 million deal for Spirit's, I guess, those who hold its debt, but nonetheless, not a deal. So far, for those of you who are hoping that if you have miles or benefits at Frontier, that you might be able to also now jump on Spirit flights, doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. But they're still in discussions. But the airline has plans to exit bankruptcy. This is Spirit Airlines this quarter, they're saying, and they're hoping to do more cost-cutting measures, including job cuts and aircraft sales and things like that. But unfortunately, no deal, fell merger. That's something that we'll have to continue to watch closely once again. And speaking of changes, I really want to take a moment to get your feedback and feels on this next story. I'll be honest with you, when I read this, I was like, wow. But let me know if you think this is a wow. This is being shared on CNBC by Jesse Pound, Jeff Cox, and talking about the one and only Trump media. Now, Trump media, as you guessed, the Trump name is something you've probably heard of, is expanded into finance. Trump media has launched Truth.fi, which is a new financial services division. They said they're going to be offering ETFs, cryptocurrency investments, and other things like that. Now, already there's been a $250 million investment. The company says they're going to allocate $250 million custodial with Charles Schwab to develop these sort of products. Now, this is sort of a pushback against debanking. This is a move that follows complaints about being excluded from major banks, and Trump calling out places such as Bank of America and JP Morgan. But there is potential competition with the one and only Elon Musk and his X platform, because Truth.fi could actually rival Musk's X platform, which recently partnered with Visa to expand into financial services as well. So we'll see how this unfolds, but let me know what you think about this. Trump media's expansion into finance, of course, is hoping to capitalize on these different conservative financial interests, positioning itself as an alternative to traditional banks and investment firms. Like it, don't like it, surprise? Let me know your thoughts. Curious to see how you feel about that. And I see Sadiq talking about Spirit Airlines. Yeah, thank you so much for your thoughts on that. And yes, talking about Starlink as well. All right, let's continue on. And yeah, if you have comments and thoughts on this, any of these topics that we're talking about today, definitely put your thoughts in that, because we like to see your perspective on these issues as well. Now, we want to talk about Starbucks next, because Starbucks' CEO is really working hard to try to turn things around. This is being shared on Yahoo Finance by Brian Sazi, talking about another Brian Niccolo, who is the CEO at Starbucks. As you know, the former CEO of Chipotle is now revamping Starbucks stores to bring back more welcoming things. Let me know how you feel about that. One of the things that he's doing to make things feel more welcoming is to bring back those iconic black, I don't know if they're black, but bring back ceramic mugs. I feel like that's really cozy, right? Do you like that? But mobile ordering and pricing changes are going to be taking place. Starbucks is definitely streamlining mobile orders to make it even easier for you to remove like things and order more things and just make that process more comfortable. They're also removing extra charges if you need to, change the type of milk that you use in your coffee or latte to improve the customer experience. That there, of course, Starbucks has been struggling, and they've definitely experienced some lower sales in some parts of the world, but they're hoping that this is going to change and that this is going to be something that consumers will be back and flock back to. So a lot of people are watching. We're going to let you know when we hear more on that story. But let me know if you've been to a Starbucks lately, if you've seen changes that you feel do make you feel more cozy and make you want to visit their stores even more than you did maybe just recently. And speaking of things that I think definitely need your attention is this. Now, for those of you who've been to the groceries lately, you probably still continue to feel the pinch of inflation, right? Certain things probably have come down in price and certain things probably didn't. And one of the areas that definitely doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon, being shared by CBS News by Anne-Marie Lee, is the price of eggs. In fact, the average price of a dozen eggs has hit $4.15. This is as of last month at the end of the month, which is a 60% whopping increase from a year ago. Now, unfortunately, this year, that's expected just to get higher because the USDA predicts another 20% price jump, at least probably, because the avian flu outbreak has led to mass culling of chickens nationwide, causing severe supply shortages that are unfortunately going to keep prices just rising. So we know eggs are in so many things that we consume, right? It's not just eggs that we bring home, but of course, like so many things that are baked and produced use eggs in them. Well, the bird flu unfortunately has devastating and continues to devastate the poultry industry. In fact, H5N1, which is a virus, killed 13.2 million egg-laying hens in just last month alone. And that's adding to the 139 million birds that were lost since 2022. Now, a lot of stores you're going to see that a lot of shelves are actually empty. And not only that, is some grocery stores, some wholesale stores probably even, are putting limits on how many eggs that you can buy. In fact, some places in Massachusetts and Las Vegas are reporting that they're having a strict restriction on egg purchases because demand now is outstripping supply. So unfortunately, it does look like the price of eggs is going to get worse because of the avian flu, H5N1. Hopefully, that'll get improved because I do know that the government is looking they're making a lot of changes with healthcare and a lot of those things. And hopefully, it's for the better. That's kind of like the lunar year. You're the snake talking. I'm hoping things get better. And I know there's a lot of concerns. We're getting a lot of comments, and I see a lot of those comments on social media in general. But again, hoping for the best, right? Now, for those of you who are with me live, let's take a look and see where the market is. Currently, the Dow is down 120 points. Nasdaq's down 106 points. S&P 500 is still down 26 points. We've got less than 20 minutes left before the market will close. Let me know how you feel about all these things. Maybe let me know in general. Are you feeling optimistic with the new year? Are you feeling like it's just overwhelming? It's not going the right direction? And most importantly, let me know if there's any stories and whatnot that you think that I should be sharing on the show, and put those into comments or send me a direct message. I'd love to hear from you. Can't promise that I'll always share everything, but if it's pertinent and it's something that I think our community would be interested in, then I'm definitely looking to take a look. All right. With that, thank you so much for being a part of today's Level Up. Do me a favor and like and subscribe to stay in the know with all the latest insights. And of course, you can catch past full episodes of Level Up with Winnie Sun You can check places such as Amazon Fire, Samsung, LG, Roku, and some older episodes on NASDAQ as well. And when sharing an episode online, definitely tag at Winnie Sun so maybe I can give you a shout out on a future show. So, for example, a big thank you to John, a big thank you to Joshua, Sadiq, Melanie as well. And I really, really appreciate your commitment, and Carla, for being here and supporting the show inside and out, and continue to be here with us. We have a lot more information to be sharing, of course, this year. So don't worry, we'll be back very, very soon. But with that, have a beautiful day. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye now.